सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। ओम सच्चिदानंदरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रय विनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नमः। निगमकल्पतरोर्गलितं फलं शुकमुखादमृतद्रवसंयुतं पिबत भागवतं रसमालयं मुहुरहो रसिका भुवि भावुकाः। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश्च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं। समस्तदेवताभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो नमः। श्रीमद्भागवत महापुराण आचार्येभ्यो नमः। परब्रह्मणे महाविष्णवे ब्रह्मणे सनकादिमुनिभ्यो नारदाय वेदव्यासाय शुकब्रह्मर्षे सूतमहामुने शौनकादृशिभ्यो अत्र्यादृशिभ्यो प्रह्लादादिभक्तजनेभ्यो आदित्यादिनवग्रहदेवताभ्यो दक्षिणामूर्ति दत्तात्रेय हयग्रीवादिगुरुभ्यो नमः। वत्स्यादि अवतारेभ्यो नमः। आद्यशङ्कराचार्यवर्यादिगुरुभ्यो नमः। आदिपराशक्तिमात्रे नमः। दुर्गालक्ष्मी सरस्वती स्वरूपिण्ये नमः। आद्यशङ्कराचार्यवर्यादिगुरुभ्यो नमः। मातापितृदेवताभ्यो नमः। अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। ओम श्री कृष्ण परब्रह्मणे नमः। श्रीमद्भागवत महापुराणम् एकादश स्कंदः मुक्तिः त्वान्यथा रूपं स्वरूपेण व्यवस्थितिः अथ द्वाविंशोऽध्यायः। श्री भगवानुवाच। Chant from 49. तरोर्बीज विपाकाभ्याम यो विद्वान् जन्म संयमौ तरोर्विलक्षणो द्रष्टा एवं द्रष्टा तनोः पृथक् प्रकृतेरेवमात्मानम् अविविच्याबुधः पुमान् तत्त्वेन स्पर्शसम्मूढः संसारं प्रतिपद्यते। सत्त्वसङ्गात् ऋषीन् देवान् रजसासुरमानुषान् तमसा भूततिर्यक्त्वं भ्रामितो याति कर्मभिः नृत्यतो गायतः पश्यन् यथैवानुकरोति तान् एवं बुद्धिगुणान् पश्यन् अनीहोऽप्यनुकार्यते यथाम्भसा प्रचलता तरवोऽपि चला इव चक्षुषा भ्राम्यमाणेन दृश्यते भ्रमतीव भोः यथा मनोरथधियः विषयानुभवो मृषा स्वप्नदृष्टाश्च दाशारः तथा संसार आत्मनः अर्थे हि अविद्यमानेऽपि संसृतिर्न निवर्तते। ध्यायतो विषयानस्य स्वप्ने अनर्थागमो यथा तस्मादुद्धव मा भुङ्क्ष्व विषयान् असद् इन्द्रियैः आत्माग्रहणनिर्भातं पश्य वैकल्पिकं भ्रमं क्षिप्तो वमानितो असद्भिः प्रलब्धो सूयितोऽथवा ताडितः सन्निबद्धो वा वृत्त्या वा परिहापितः निष्ठितो मूत्रितो वाग्न्यैः बहुदैवं प्रकम्पितः श्रेयस्कामः कृच्छ्रगतः आत्मनात्मानमुद्धरेद। उद्धव उवाच यथैव मनुबुद्धेयं वदतो वदतां वरा सुदुःसहमिमं मन्ये आत्मन्यसदतिक्रमं विदुषाम् अपि विश्वात्मन् प्रकृतिर्हि बलीयसी ऋते त्वद्धर्मनिरतान् शान्तान्स्ते चरणालयान्। इति श्रीमद्भागवते महापुराणे पारमहंस्यां संहितायाम् एकादशस्कन्धे द्वाविंशोऽध्यायः। ओम शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ श्रीकृष्ण शरणं मम श्रीभागवत शरणं मम श्रीसद्गुरुशरणं मम श्रीसूत शरणं मम श्रीशुकदेव शरणं मम श्रीव्यास शरणं मम श्रीनारद शरणं मम श्रीकुमार शरणं मम श्रीब्रह्मा शरणं मम श्रीविष्णु शरणं मम श्रीपरब्रह्म शरणं मम श्रीकृष्ण शरणं मम शरणं मम शरणं मम श्रीकृष्ण गोविन्द हरे मुरारे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव श्रीकृष्ण गोविन्द हरे मुरारे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव ओम मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवं स्वर्गे सत्ये च कैलासे वैकुण्ठे नास्त्ययं रसः अतः पिबन्तु सद्भाग्याः मामामुञ्चत कर्हिचित् ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ श्रीकृष्ण परब्रह्मणे नमः श्रीमद्भागवत महापुराणम् एकादश स्कन्धः मुक्तिरित्वान्यथा रूपं स्वरूपेण व्यवस्थितिः अथ द्वाविंशोऽध्यायः श्रीभगवानुवाच Salutations to Lord, to the Gurus. Yes, it is difficult in the world to be able to enter into spiritual field because world demands our so much of attention, not only by tempting us but also for the duties as well as for even survival. But in spite of those things, taking out time and trying to attend to the sermons on the truth or the reality is a true contribution we do to ourselves. To the extent we are successful in that, to that extent we grow in spirituality because the things start becoming clear. This is one. Second, as we said yesterday, day before also, ki our mind is weak in memorizing good things, and these things are so subtle. Therefore, unless repeatedly, once and tens and hundreds of times, we remember or we remind ourselves of the goal or the means, we don't remember that. It is a inevitable effort that we have to put regular efforts to remember the goal and means. Then only it is in our mind, then only we can be focused about it. That's how we are. We are not machines. That it is fed once, it is there. There is a umpteen number of chances that we lose sight of the Paramatma as the goal and the sadhana as the means. Thousands of reasons are there. And yet we have again and have to come back onto that Sattva-guna sthiti, onto remembrance, and also moving 2-3 steps ahead. Again, some rajas tamas comes, it pulls us to the world. Again, we go in that and it gives some pleasure. Then we feel, Hare, why I came here again? Again, we try again little more. This is how for every sadhaka, the journey goes on happening. But if it takes few cares of trying to avoid all the rajas tamas creating things and involve only in the sattva creating things, there is a more chance for him to remember the goal, remember the means, doing them systematically, and also feeling the satisfaction that I am able to do what is possible through me. The rest is in the hands of the Lord. Now, this chapter 22, as we are coming to conclusion, Bhagavan is almost revealing the secrets as to position of the self, position of the jiva, position of the maya, position of the vasanas, position of our upadhis, and position of the outer world. How each one are there positioned in this way. And finally, all that is to be known mainly for my own redemption or liberation. So, my position to know is important. And there are two things only, 100 times we have spoken, discussed. I with the upadhis is a suffering jiva. I freed from the upadhis is the blissful liberated self. Choice is ours. Even after choosing to get out of upadhi, the desire to get out of upadhi has to be maintained along with finding all the means and tricks and techniques to come out of it consciously. And the more we try, the more the upadhis, then mind, the maya, they act so vigorously as if they are trying to defeat us. And we get defeated also. Again, we come back again onto the path. We get defeated, but we are not killed. So again, we come to the yuddha. Every time we become stronger, stronger, and one time then we will be winning. So these last again 15 slokas are so crucial. As we were seeing yesterday, the slokas where we saw Atmanah Pitruputrabhyam Anumeyau Bhavapyayau Na Bhavapya Vastunam Abhignaha Dvaya Lakshanaha. So he gave an example or example that seeing some people dying, I also feel that I die. Seeing some people are born, I feel that I am also born. What is born, what is dying is bodies, not I, the jiva. And the logic given is what? The knower of the birth and death cannot be subjected to either of them. So if I say that I am born or dead, I must remember it because I must experience it. But I don't remember it, therefore I will experience. I don't remember it, that means I have not experienced it. Second thing is, if I am dead, I should have not been here now to even discuss all these things. So I am there means I am eternally there. Only thing is what is that eternally staying or being principle that we have to discover in our own deep meditation. Meditation is to discover our identity with the eternal, impenetrable truth or the reality or self or the God or Paramatma or Brahma or Sachidananda Vastu. That is final meditation. It's not as easy as it is said. We have to travel a lot of distances there, right from the external world. In Gita, it is said, first to become yogarurukshu, then become yogarudha, then ensure that you have become yogarudha by these three things. Yada inendriyarteshu na karma sanusajjate sarva sankalpa sannyasi yogarudha sadochyate. With that qualification, then you go to Guru. He teaches about Atma Vastu, Lakshanas, and then Atma Dhyana Prakriya. Suchau Deshe, Pratishtapya, Sthiramasanam, and all that. Then when you continuously do, Yunjan Nevam Sadatmanam Yogiti, Yogi Niyatamanasa, Sukhena Brahmastam Sparsham, Atyantam Sukhamashnute. Every Gita Upanishad beautifully. So, what is here in this sloka understood is, to me, real self, the Janma Marana are not there. To the body, let us accept Janma Marana are there. The body is Janma Marana. If I take it, then I am called Jiva. Then he feels he has got Janma and Marana. As a Jiva also, it's only entering and identifying with one Deha, leaving it and entering into other one. This process is going on. Even as Jiva also, there is no Janma and Apyaya. We have to be rooted in these understandings first. Then, to avoid the Jiva's Janma Maranatha, he'll have to detach from the Upadhis. And also, to experience the self, he has to dissolve his Jiva Bhava. That resolving in Jiva Bhava, born out of avidya, is achieved in the Vidya of the self, which is discovered on the deep seat of meditation. But even to be able to do that, we have to become ourselves fit for that by reducing to a great extent, becoming Jiva by identified with the Upadhi. And that's a tough job if we are in that place or those thoughts where Upadita Adatma is strengthened. So only that place we have to go where this is helped out, where we are helped to get out of the upadhi tadatmya. That can be your own house where the other things are not there, or it can be any ashram wherever we go, where we have less prone, where we have less things around to make us identify with the upadhi. There, sadhana can be done in a better manner. Otherwise, in the world of hustle and bustle with things and beings around so many, it becomes extra added double challenge and difficulty. And more chances are there for us to fail as well as give up. Very rare if you are there. Okay. Now, he gave us example. Taror bija vipakabhyam yo vidwan janma samyamau tayor vilakshanah drashta evam drashta tanoh pruthak. So, in this world, anything and is born and grown and dying. If somebody is able to see that, he is not a part of that birth, growth, death. It can be a plant or a tree or any things grossly they are made. Kuch bhi ho. It can be the wave born, wave danced, wave died. The one who is seeing that is not undergoing all those three. Then only he can see them. Here the example of taroho, bija and vipakabhyam. There's janma samyava. So when the bija of the taru comes out as a sprout, we understand the plant is janmita or jataha, born. As it grows, does its job of giving whatever it has to. Then it goes to a vipaka sthiti of final stages. We can see the samyama of the tree that it is dead or dissolved. So we seeing them I. So I was there before the bija became the sprout. I am there even after the plant or tree collapsed also. So I am subjected, not subjected to the janma and marana of that plant. Example. Apply the same with our own dehadi upadhis. Because of too much identity with this, not only we are not able to meditate on that, but we are not able to even believe or listen or understand or accept that I am that principle in whose presence the janma marana of the upadhis are happening. So here even Jiva Bhava Bhagavan is not bringing. He is saying in you as an awareness, the Deha is born, Deha is grown, they are dead. So they belong to Deha Adi, not to you. That is why for few years this sadhana of all these are not to me, not to me, not to me, we have to do. Then only that totally engrossed in the upadhi and their changes, that our special self individuality can be brought out, can be pulled out. बहुत कठिन वाला साधना है बट असंभव नहीं है. So in the same way evam drashta tanoho pruthak. This is what the principle. In the same way, the knower of the body and its all modifications is separate from other than independent of that tanu. If your one tanu is mentioned, sthula, then you can say sukshma and karana. So in a silent mood of meditation or in contemplation or seated in a sofa or in a relaxed chair reclining or you are in some park garden seated in the chair, daily subha sham kahte jana hai. These modifications are to the upadhis, not to me. I am the seer of them. I am only the drashta of them. They don't belong to me. They come and go. I eternally remain. Or that principle which just witnesses the changes of all this, which never born when it is things are born, which never dies when things die. That principle is me. That is me. That is me. जितना वो कहते रहोगे ना उतना वो प्रिंसिपल का प्रेजेंस का हृदय में दृढ़ता होता है. First, what has to happen in us is the firmness in the presence of that principle, which is unborn and undying when the upadhis are born and die. Then the question of where is he, who is he, what is he? Then we'll be told it is in your own cave of heart as the pure conscious space, Chidakasha Rupa. Then we search it out. As we become deeper in meditation, then we can near to that Chidakasha Rupa. And suddenly one day, even the last thought is thoughted, last identity also dropped, last Jiva Bhava also dropped. then we can experience that Siddhananda Rupaha Shivoham Shivoham. This is what is said in 49. Now, 50th sloka tells very spashta rupa, as I said yesterday, how we get bound. This sloka has to be very clearly understood. It is not at all difficult. It is very easy. What he says, Prakrutehe evam atmanam avivechya avudaha puman tatvena sparsha sammodaha samsaram pratipadyate. This is how the jiva enters into samsara and suffers. What is the samsara? Janma, Marana, in between all the emotions, all the ideas, all the activities, all the gains of Sukha Dukkha, and dying and again born in some or the other place. That type of effortful, happiness-less life is called samsara. This is how we get into samsara, not into Atmanubhuti. How? So simple. What is said here? Prakrutehe Atmanam Avivichya. By not being able to separate discriminatingly, thoroughly himself from the Prakriti. Because of the inability to discriminate and separate his self from the Upadhi, from the Prakriti. प्रकृति से हम अपने आप को अलग नहीं करने के कारण हमको संसार हो रहा है. वेरी क्लियर. Second point. Then why we are not able to do the vivechanam between me and the Prakriti and separate myself from Prakriti so much that nothing of the happenings in the Prakriti fall on me? Prakriti means upadhis. Prakriti means jagat. The answer is abudaha. Abudaha is three things. First of all, the one who doesn't know that I am a self other than the Prakriti. Second one, knows it intellectually, but doesn't know all the upaya as to how to discriminate and separate himself from the upaya. Third, more important is, even though he knows, he is not putting sufficient due efforts to do the vivechanam of himself as separate from the Prakriti. These are the three reasons. Not at all knowing that I am a Purusha need not be bound by the Prakriti. This is Prakriti Purusha Sankhya Paddhati. But this is so essential even for Vedanta that if you have to experience one without second self, the clutches of Prakriti, you have to get out only. There's no way. After reaching the self, then we say it's Ekameva Advayam Brahma. There's no Prakriti, there's no Maya, there's no Upadhi. That's Baad mein. Up to you are when you are experiencing it thoroughly, the Deha, the Prakriti, and their modifications as ours. The body gets diseased, I feel so miserable. The mind is disturbed, I feel so much frustrated. अब इतना जबरदस्त solid आप experience कर रहे हो, you can't deny even how much और Vedanta ज्ञान you know. You have to do the practice of Prakriti Purusha Viveka of these are happening to Upadhis, not to me. I am only Drashta, I am only Sakshi. This we must to do. So the first step is what? All modifications are happening in Prakriti, not in me. I need not be identified with them. I can separate from them. I get liberated. The one who knows this one, the first step of Buddha, wise person. Therefore, he doesn't know it, is the first step of Abuddha. After knowing, so then how to do that? That knowledge and wisdom. If one knows it, he is Buddha. If he doesn't know, he is Abuddha. And that bodha to him of separating himself from Prakriti, the all principles, techniques are given only by the Guru with the guidance of Shastra. Because he is already detached from Prakriti and establishing in his own self. Third one, reasons will be told in the next line. But whatever the reason, even after knowing, if one is not continuously constantly doing it, he is also again called a third level of Abuddha. So I am suffering with these diseases. I must get rid of it. First Buddhata is this. Then which doctor to consult? Is it not? And knowing from him all the tests and treatments is second Buddha, Bodha. After knowing from the doctor, exactly practicing. It is third Buddha. If these three are not there, then we suffer the disease. This is a physical exam. So, to the disease of samsara, of bhaya, of shoka, of the dukkha and raga, desha, which belong actually to antakarana, we can never get rid of unless we become Buddha. Therefore, avivichyaha abbuddha puman atmanam evam prakrutehe. He's not going to that class. He's not going to that guru. He's not contemplating that angle. His books are not those which he's studying. His programs he attends are totally opposite to it. Everything he doing is to identify with Prakriti. And never ever he do anything to get out of Prakriti. Then how can he be liberated? Prakrute reva matmanam avivichya abuddha puman. This is such a powerful sentence. And he's not talking about anybody. अपन के बारे में बोल रहे. Second, then why he is not able to do that? Because something is wrong in him. From here, the next five shlokas are repeated many a times, but there are no better or important shlokas for understanding and sadhana than these three. Kuch bhi kaho. That most valuable thing is coming in front of us again by again reminder of the Lord. Lord is reminding us. Listen carefully the second line. What is that? Tatvena sparsha sammudhaha. Tatvena means taking it as reality. Sparsha means with all the indriya vastus, with mano vastus. Indriya vastus are shabda, sparsha, rupa, rasa, gandha. Mano vastus are all emotions. And buddhi vastus are also concepts. Sharira vastus are the laziness, wanting to sleep, not working hard. These are all the Sharira's Vastus. So the Sharira Vastu, the Indriya Vastu of Shabda Sparsha Prasagandha, Mano Vastu of emotions, Buddhist Vastus a variety of concepts, Tatvena, taking them as reality, Sparsha, he is in contact with them continuously, Sammudaha, therefore he is deluded. It simple examples. So many you can say. जस्ट टीवी के सामने बैठ गए, देखते देखते चाय पीना भूल गए, टीवी देखते देखते किसी को फोन करना भूल गए, पूजा करना भूल गए, कोई घंटी बजा रहे हैं भूल गए. So all these things, that not attending to the bell or the phone or not attending to the immediate duty, that is called as sammudhata, forgetfulness. Why is it happened? Because tatvena sparsha, because we took this TV and program as so real and enjoying, we are entered into that called as sparsha. Some mudha means we are lost in it. Understanding? Be clear about this. Very simple, very direct. बहुत बार ऐसे होता है, अगर नहीं, इवन बस स्टैंड में भी कुछ ऐसे देखते देखते बस ही चली जाती है, फ्लाइट्स भी चले जाते हैं. How many times because of our sparsha means contact with non-essential, that we forgot about the essential. Children, they are tattvena sparsha sammudha, that they take the TV or their play games etc. as tattva, and they are so much sparsha means in contact with them. Sammudha, they lose sight about the goals which they themselves set कि इस बार तो मुझे 10 on 10 आना है, मुझे माता पिता से शाबाश कहलवाना है, टीचर्स के सामने सर खड़ा कराना है, बाकी दोस्तों से आगे मुझे दिखाना है. How many things he has conceived, he planned, he is having all capacities, but he has not performed to reach them, because the reason for the non-performance is sammudhata. Why sammudha? Tattvena samsparsha. He took something other than as true, real or happiness giving, and he has got engrossed in that. And remember, just like some things like tea or the coffee, all of them somehow, I don't know all the chemical names or the things in that, somehow they have some intoxicants in them which trigger the repeatability in us. Nasha कहते हैं उसको. And something, all these drugs and cocaines and all, some nasha is there in them. In the same way, in the bhoga with the indriyas, there is a peculiar nasha. You just like, there's an ad, no one can eat one. Us tarah se, you start consuming it one, then you feel like one more, feel like one more. You go into that and you get stuck up that into that. That is called as that the whatever you call the name, I can't tell. You use any of the name. भाई उसका जो चस्का मस्का नशा जो भी है, that's called तत्वेन स्पर्श. उस स्पर्श को तत्व मानकर उसमें बैठ जाता है. इसलिए goal has forgotten sammuda. And in the examples of student lost in the TV and not studying, mother can remind, he can remember. In moments time he can come out. But this sparsha and tattvena sparsha in life in general, which is stopping us from doing sadhana, is so powerful and continuous that not half day or one day, but for many, many lives it is happening. It is happening in a human life itself where there is a chance for discrimination. That also when you born in India as Sanatana Dharmita Alur, वहाँ भी ये संभव है. तो we have to talk about in the yonis like devatas etc. उनको कोई वेदांत विचार भक्ति करने की चांस थोड़ी होते हैं. They are so much sammudha in the tattva sparsha. Now the problem diagnosis as it is done today is never done anywhere. And 100 times, 1,000 times we shared the explanation to you, examples, ki at this moment of 1.5 hour, even to little bit we are exposed to Bhagavatadi Shastra, because this time you are not sammudha, because you are not taking the sparsha as tattva and not involving. And those who have taken that as important, the tattva sparsha, they are sammudha in that. And in their mind, they don't remember the class, even they remember, the importance of the class is lost at that time. Then they don't attend, they take it lightly. Then they say we'll watch in YouTube. That also they don't see. Then 2-3 days anyway they have not come. Then it doesn't matter if I don't go. Slowly, slowly, that is how from such a beautiful heights of attending regularly to the class, contemplating, thinking, feeling inspired to do sadhana, slowly because of tattva sparsha, we go into that and we forget it. Forgetting this is sammudata. The forgetfulness caused by the sparsha. Sparsha is we take it as tattva. It can be in any form. Each one will have one or the other that type of sparsha invoking us to take it as tattva. It's not same for all. Somebody, the relatives come home, somebody, their own children, their exams are there, somebody, some guests come, somebody, some outer work happens. These are all taken by us as tattva and we are entered into that sparsha. Then our importance to the study or all that becomes forgotten. That's called sammudha. This is the reason. Then in the diagnosis of problem only, we have the solution. What is solution? Don't get deluded. What is solution? Forgetting goal and means. How not to get forgetting goal and means? Always exposed to that only. Then whatever is making you forget that, you protect yourself from that. Which can be anything it is. To the extent of sarvadharman parityaja, Bhagavan told means what? Even your so-called service to the world as dharma and all, even that also makes you sammudha, because that sparsha also you take as tattva. That also is sparsha. That is not spirituality. Spirituality is knowing the self. For that, everything you have to sacrifice because everything is an obstruction. To the extent if you go to the Upanishads and all, they say even doing upasana to your Ishta Devata also is a sammoha, because it is continuing to maintain the duality between you and the Lord, still which is still is a bondage. That's why the ultimate freedom from the sammoha said in Upanishad is Tadeva Brahmatvam Vidhi na idam yad idam upasate. तुम जो उपासना कर रहे हो ये भी delusion है तुम्हारा. How can you do the upasana? Whom you are doing upasana? Is there anybody other than you? How can there be anybody other than you or the God? It's both way. तुम सर्वव्यापक आत्मा हो, तुमसे अलग और कौन हो सकता है? और भगवान सर्वव्यापक है, तो उनके अलावा अलग तुम नामक जीव कैसे हो सकते हो कि तुम उनके उपासना कर रहे हो? As much the upasana pulls us away from all other upasanas and makes us surrender to the Lord, so much the upasana of surrender to Lord also is an obstruction in discovering oneness with the Lord. Because even this also is a sparsha, you can't take it as tattva. If you take it as you are sammudha, you are there only at the level of doing upasana. Of course, it's a result of the Lord is pleased with you, he is coming and giving darshan to you, he may give all the boons you require, you want, like all the rakshasas in Valmiki Ramayana you are going to see now. Malivan, Mali, Sumali, ये सारे वही तो कर रहे हैं. Such an amount of terrible tapasya they have done, which is not possible to everyone. And even Brahmadi Devatas become pleased. They came, they gave darshana. They talked with them. These fellows asked a boon. Bhagavan ne tathastu kaha. In some of the cases, even Uttama Lokas, Urdhva Lokas, ये राक्षस की तपस्या इतना थी, not that going to those Uttama Lokas and enjoying for some time, their terrible tapas and desire was so strong that they want to become the swamis of those lokas. They want to become as powerful than Indra and all, defeat them और हमको चाहिए. वो सब भी मिला उनको. But remember, even there, they are in the sammudata only. Tatvena sparsha sammudhaha sammudaha, therefore samsaram pratipadyate. सब फाइनली करके फिर उसी continuously changeable samsara only is caught up. The birthless, changeless, deathless, eternal, immortal, infinite, blissful of state of being, he is denied of by his own choice. That's why I said this shloka is $1,000,000 worth. Drop all other studies. Don't worry that ओम को समझ में नहीं आ रहा है, होगा भी नहीं, जरूरत भी नहीं है. वो सब एकेडमिकली लिसन, मेरे आत्म शांति के लिए सुनो. पर अपने लिए कोई साधना के लिए बात पकड़नी है तो ये वाला. In the next 2-3 slokas, he will tell what to do also to be careful. We will see that slowly, steadily only we study. But hope now you understood it is Prakrutehe evam atmanam avivichya abuddha puman samsaram pratipadyate. Inability in him to withdraw himself from the attachment with the Prakriti, that he is entering into samsara. And how come he is holding on to Prakriti so much, immersed in that, not able to do the Viveka that I am Drashta, I am Sakshi, because Tatvena Sparsha Sammudaha. Entering into the Sparshas, taking them as Tattva, and get lost in that called as Sammudha. Therefore, he is not even trying to come out. If at all he tries, he can come out. He is not only not trying to come out, every effort he is putting, knowingly or unknowingly, or only to get into that. This is called the Majedar Bath of Maya. I tell you this one. It's a serious thing. You don't like it to listen, but it's a fact. With all the little knowledge, whatever we got, throughout life, 24 Gante, whatever we think and do, are again, with all our nobility, with all our purity, with all intentions, if you really want to be told by me or somebody, even for me, same thing, that we are thinking and doing only those things by which we are entering into the Prakriti Tadatmya only, not doing the Vivichya. Anything we plan and do from morning till evening, whether to fulfill desire, fulfill obligation, fulfill duties, fulfill sevas, fulfill responsibilities, ये सब अलग अलग ड्रेसेस है, different cover there all. But in and through all that, what we are doing is getting into the Prakriti only. That is the power of Maya, जो बिना हमको समझाने का मौका देते हमको ऐसे फंसाते. You know, the powerful Fasaneka aspect of Maya is that it will never make us know, allow us to know that we are getting caught up. You know, like some of the relatives were so shrewd and sharp. They are around you only, cheat you in such a way that you don't even become aware of that cheating. You are so simple and innocent, Vichara. You are doing your own work, Bhagavan ka naam lete hue. But that fellow is planned in such a way that he does it without your knowledge. It's like a pickpocketer. Picks the pocket without your knowledge. You understand? Like our government, without our knowledge, it takes all our earnings in the on the name of taxes, etc. हमको पता ही नहीं कि हम बेवकूफ लोग 70-60% of our income we are just giving on taxes to the government. Out of them 20-30 is valid. बाकी सब पता नहीं, जेल रहे हम. It could have been taken from the highly rich people, not from the poor. But we don't know that every rupee we are paying 40-50% extra tax, or at least 30-40 paisa. But पता ही नहीं चलता हमको. In the same way, the power of Maya is, it goes on like children. अपने दोस्त कहते हैं, यार मैं थोड़ा पढ़ के आता हूँ. क्या पढ़ के? बाद में पढ़, चल पहले खेलते हैं. And we get carried away with that and we go and play. Throughout the time of play, we don't even remember that we have to study. In the same way, either the world will pull us into itself, or our own inner mind senses push us into the world, that we are always sparsha tattva, sparsha tattva, sparsha tattva, or doing the sparsha of the world with the idea of it is tattva tattva. Then we are lost in that sammuda. And how long we are sammuda, sir? Just till we die. Then do you mean to say after death and new birth we are out of sammuda? No, it is again start. What to do will be told now. Solution भी बताएंगे. बिना उसका फिर complete नहीं होगा ना subject. But understand it. Pause here. Spend some more time. Do it as homework of contemplation on this shloka. All other things that I need not say. Prakrutehe evam atmanam avivichya abudaha avichya abudaha puman tatvena sparsha sammudaha samsaram pratipadyate. How clearly it is said. And what words we have added are, in this world of Maya, of Prakriti, there is a special intoxicating charm. That's the power that you have to recognize and come out of it. You can't do anything to destroy it because it has its own purpose of deluding other jivas, and that's how the samsara continues. Like in the world, every beautiful thing has its own charm of attracting. But we have to use our discrimination whether we need it or not. Like for a diabetic person, sweets naturally are charming and attracting to everyone. But I don't deserve to take it. Then I must have my discrimination. I can't destroy the sweet. It is meant for others. You can't destroy the world. World will continue. We have to know what is for us and we have to choose that for us at the cost of all that. You can't destroy it. The charm in the things you can't destroy. Because that is there to delude all people. Because through delusion only they are made to exhaust whatever they have to. Oh, uska फिर अलग हिसाब है. That will be explained to you if you ask that question. Why the Bhagavan made the world and all. He has made it for so many others, not for you. Like in the medical shop, so many medicines are there. All are not for you. In the clothes shop, so many clothes are put. All are not for you. In the grocery shop, so many, everything. What is required for you, you must know and buy only that. No? Common sense. Is there any big intelligence required to understand it? In the same way, never ask question why the Lord made the world attractive. That is his genius. And it is required for many other jivas, not for the sadhakas. Those things in the attractive world, attractive are for making a person rajasic from tamasic. Because seeing those tempting things, he'll come out of his lethargy and works for it. And for same attracting things are obstructions for a person who wants to enter into sattvic from rajasic. Only through sattva guna we can research about the self and reach. तो आपको रजोगुण चाहिए, सत्वगुण चाहिए, रजोगुण चाहिए, then enter into the world, get attracted. Everything is charming, beautiful. मजा आता है उस लेवल का. But in that you will end up in doing so many wrong things and the papa उसका फल मिलता रहेगा. ये तो हम ज़्यादा बोलेंगे नहीं, वो बेवकूफ़ बकवास वाली बात. But main point, you are missing your sattva guna, you are missing your inner deeper divine experiences. If you don't even want to know about it, what can I do? What can anybody do? If the people don't even want to know that what is happening in our morning even classes by attending even once, what can I do for them? If they attend, they never know what's being taught there. Even after attending, if your prarabdha and prakriti is very powerful, After some days, you, the so-called regular people, also can get bored and feel like going away. अब मैं क्या कर सकता हूँ? माया. But clear diagnosis of problem. प्रकृतेः एवं आत्मानम एवं प्रकृतेः आत्मानम अविविच्य. प्रकृति से अपने आप को अलग नहीं करने के कारण क्यों अबुदाहा, बिकॉज देयर इज नो विजडम. थ्री विजडम्स आई टोल्ड यू अर्लियर. And that person tattvena sparsha sammodaha is always in the sparsha, in contact with the vastus, taking them as tattva sammodaha. Then he forgets the goal. Samsarati yapuman. You send your children for study to the hostels, but in other than study, all nonsense they do. This is the example. So example for this. We go to spiritual camps. There also, instead of focusing on study, are interest in sleeping, eating. If you go to the pilgrimage also, instead of focusing on having Bhagavad Darshana, going only for shopping and all, that is called as Tattvena Sparsha Sammuda Samsaranti. And what is samsara? Entering into the Prakriti. That is what Abhivichya. Inability to withdraw from the Prakriti. अब ये जन्म जन्म का आदत है. As we are telling you again and again, आदत जितना भी बुरा है, हम समझ भी ले उसको ये आदत है बुरा, फिर भी because it's an adat, it is not easy to come out of it, but not impossible. You have to recognize and you have to come out of it. Only that day when I know that I am caught up in my own bad habits very strongly, deeply, because of which I am bound into the world, not able to do sadhana, I must by myself should come out of those habits. Till those two convictions come, we don't even try, we don't even succeed. And the biggest boon that Lord gave is, as much with your stupid nonsense efforts, you become habitually arrogant or nonsensical. In the same way, with your own practice, from any wretched thing of the world also, you can come out. That boon is always there. That blessing is always there. That opportunity is always there. Like with any person, I can't live with that without that person. Such a terrible attachment it is. Very powerful. You will feel like committing suicide only when that person is not responding and all. That level you only brought for whatever reason. But the blessing is what? Always there is a beginning, slowly to help ourselves to totally come out of that thing. अगर वो वाला नहीं होता ना, किसी को मुक्ति होगी नहीं इस जगत में. Because everybody is born bound. That boon we have to encash. And only one sadhana to be done. Stand apart, keep away. First, keep away. Second, stand apart. Third, drop. Fourth, forget. That's it. This is how we have to do. And the one who with discrimination is able to achieve it is a lucky fellow. There are very few. बाकी सब डंडा पढ़ पढ़ के ही ये दिमाग खुलता है उनको. Therefore, the more we are becoming frustrated, failure, miserable in life, please remember it's the grace and blessing of God. But that grace and blessing comes in a packet. We have to open and use it. What is the opening and using of that grace and blessing of Lord, which comes in the form of all the frustration and dukkha? Get vairagya from everything. That vairagya in the beginning will be too frustrating, but you start even that way. Is it not? After some time, you can see the beauty in that. Ki acha ho gaya. Then the same Lord who have cursed left and right in the beginning for giving all frustrations and miseries, disappointments, after little growth in spiritual sadhana, you will look back and say, I'm very sorry, Lord, I misunderstood you, but it was your own grace. Thank you, you did that. I am grateful to you. I am telling it my personal experience, my personal. और क्या है? I am thanking every one of you, everybody now, that I am able to do my study and all. Credit goes to all of these only. Whoever have frustrated me and whatever situations, whatever. It's so good that now we are in free mood of our own study, meditation. That possibility we have to encash. It is there in everybody's life. You also are going through that only every day. That's how the Lord's grace works in the world. Lord's grace works by giving us whatever we desire. Then He kicks us also in such a way to come out of all desire. That is another grace, the real grace. And all is done by Him and only His goodwill. What is His goodwill? He wants to give us that eternal bliss of Himself. Like the father, mother want the best thing to give to children. Is it not? Because that's their nature. That's the meaning of parents. इवन पशु पक्षियों में वो प्रेम होता है. मनुष्य में सहज है. The my offsprings, I must. If to human brains, if this is there, then what would be in the Bhagavan's drishti when he knows all are his santanam? Can he want to give anything second? Second grade, third grade? No, he wants to give best only. But we, like the stupid, arrogant, insisting, stubborn children, we don't want the best given by parents, but we want that which we consider as best. What can a majbooran out of a church attachment they give? So to majbooran, the Lord gives whatever we are desiring because He is attached to us that way. ये मेरे पुत्र है बेचारा दे देता हूँ. But among those children, one wise child knows the parents know what is best for me. Then they don't have a choice. They say, Bhagavan, our father, mother, whatever you give is best for me. He's a wise and he really gets best and enjoys best. So to one of the rare jivas who says, Oh Lord, what you give me is best, give me. Then he gives vairagya, he gives guru, he gives satsanga, he gives all conveniences for sadhana, he gives qualification. He will use all of them and dekhte, he has transcended the outer inner, he has traveled the innermost, he just has quietened the entire disturbance of the mind which is creating the gross and subtle world. All of that dissolved in the quietness of the mind. The quiet mind also dissolves. Then he can experience himself, who is all pervading Chidakasha. Then from there, the happiness, the bliss, the laughter is so much. For the reason that how I became stupid, a one gross body, one jiva in gross body, and went through all suffering, I am infinite. Like a person thrown from the helicopter in the space, let us say, courageous. He should think, okay, what I was caught up in a stupid chair by this bedroom, the entire Akasha is mine. I can revel, enjoy like that. Cocooned in my own room of 6 to 10 bedroom like a stupid fellow, whereas such a huge, vast Akasha is there for me to pursue and enjoy. एग्जाम्पल अगर समझ में आए तो समझ लेना, पकड़ में आए तो पकड़ लेना, बाजी है तो ठीक तरह सब उसको स्वीकार करना. बट आई फेल्ट दैट एग्जाम्पल. In the same way, he says, I'm such an infinite. I am that sun, I am that moon, I am that river, I am that ocean. जो कुछ भी मैं ही था, मैं ही हूँ. परम ब्रह्म नित्यम तदेवाहम अस्मि. परम ब्रह्म नित्यम तदेवाहम अस्मि. And the one who that way surrenders his will to the will of God and Guru, the Guru and God write the will on our name. They don't die, but they write a will that you also get that bliss of infinitude. चाहिए क्या? तो तैयार हो जाओ. नहीं तो प्रकृतिरेव आत्मानम् अविच्य अबुदपमान् तत्त्वेन स्पर्श सम्मूढः संसरन्ति पुनः पुनः. संसारम प्रतिपद्यते. अब देखो कितने ये बात ना किसी को भी आप बोलो दे डोंट कैच. Little 2-3% you are able to understand. That's just because of last 2 years of your regular listening. Not that you have fully understood and grasped and accepted and ready to it right now. You are waiting for me to go to the next sloka only. I know that. After class is over, we all run into our own different fields. But at least while speaking from here, some chetana is happening in you, definitely in the understanding of that. That's the outcome of your pure faith to Gurudev and God and Shastra from last 2 years. Without that, you will not even get a chance to listen to this beautiful shloka. Among these 18,000 slokas, such beautiful important slokas are somewhere put where you have to search and find for our fortune the Lord and Gurudev has himself searched and gave. अब लाइक इतने सारे हैं ये वो क्या कहते हैं शेल्स, एक शेल में वो मोती होता है. अब उस शेल को ढूंढकर उसको तोड़कर उसमें से वो मोती को ले जाकर आनंद पाना है. So in this entire Bhagavata, in fact, everything shell, everything has got moti, but this one is special moti. अब इसका यूज करो. Contemplate on this again and again. I am the self, but suffering jiva because of the upadhis, not able to get rid of that upadhi which is made of prakriti. So much I am caught up in them. What is the strengthening my attachment to them? Tatvena sparsha sammudaha. I am deluded so powerfully because of the sparsha with the world, taking them as tattva. What is the meaning of taking them as tattva? यही है, यही कुछ है, यही सब कुछ है, इसके अलावा कुछ नहीं है. That feeling is called as sammoda. Totally drowned in that. Is it not? Like the people you can see who are engrossed in the arthakama, for them that alone is real. They are engrossed in that. That's how sammodata, a feeling of it. Before we came to the study of Shastra, we all were like that only, running in the Artha and Kama, so much engrossed in them. And at that time, you remember now, the Guru hai, Satsang hai, Shastra hai, Vedanta hai, Paramatma hai, Bandha Moksha hai. Do we know anyone of them? That was the stage we were fully sammood. An example. But little bit now we are opening our eyes from the total coma. What is the meaning of that? Ki there is something as a permanent liberation. Through this knowing of self, for that I have to do vivichya from the prakriti. And for that I have to come out of sammudata. And the point which I said $1,000,000, though it was not explained exhaustively with all, what do you say, extravagance way of saying, but that is a fact. What is that? उसमें चस्का नशा है. ले तो लेोगे तो बार बार लेने को मन होएगा, उसको लेना ही मत. Everything in this world, you start jogging in the morning, थोड़े दिन का उसमें चस्का मजा आने लगेगा. You start doing yoga, you start enjoying that. You start doing pranayam, वो भी मजा आने लगता है. They are good only. अब गुड थिंग से ऐसे लगेगा, बुरे थिंग तो और उसका अंत ही नहीं है. None of them fetch as reality. Some or the other way, they may be little helpful in Vyavahara and fulfilling Dharma, but in and through that, that is making us chipko more and more to the Prakriti. Prakriti is Maya, Prakriti is Mana, Prakriti is Trigunas, Prakriti is Dehendriya Manamudhi, Prakriti is the Jagata, Prakriti is all the vastus and objects and people, things in Jagat, all that is Prakriti. हम उसमें फंस गए, उससे अलग नहीं कर पा रहे. I like this shloka. Prakriterevam atmanam avivichya abudappuman tatvena sparsha sammudha संसारम प्रतिपद्यते. अच्छा है कि नहीं? Now once he is caught up in the Prakriti has three gunas. So by doing those activities prompted by that guna particular, he will get that type of deha or that type of loka and that type of things and beings and that type of sukha dukkha. The next step of inability to withdraw from the Prakriti's three gunas. What's what said in the next sloka? Sattva sangat rushin devan. Because of the sangha with the sattva guna, doing all the punya, doing all the shravana dhyanam and yajnayaga, he will get into the deha of the rushi and devata. Remember, having entered into the rushi janma and devata janma, he will enjoy the rushi's inner purity and devata's swarga adi. But still they are not atmanubhuti. There, more than in the Deva Deha, in the Rishi Deha, because the Shuddha Sattva Guna, there's more chances for him to quickly catch the truth and go into that. The chance is there, but whether somebody uses it or not, we don't know. The same Rishi with his all Siddhi Shakti, again he may try to become some bhogi of the world only. Like is Ravanadi, with their intense deep tapasya for such long time, they have reached to the Rishi level only. Shuddha Sattva Guna. When they have given up all the activities and identification with tamas and rajas, obviously Antakarna became to the Sattva Guna level. But when the God appeared, instead of asking for the moksha, they asked for something also kar bhoga, then they are caught up. Therefore, even getting the Rishi Deha, Brahmana Deha, being born in the Rishi Kula is a chance for sadhana, but not guarantee for sadhana. It is you have to ensure it. Therefore, it is our job, as we said in morning class, I think Telugu wala mein, कि finally the thought is, it is my job, my responsibility, my duty for me to come out of my own bondage of samsara and enter into my own liberation of my self experience. ये जब तक हृदय में स्ट्रांग नहीं होता, nobody's help you will take and nobody helps also. If I don't take up the first basic thing, it's my health I have to protect. Therefore, I have to go to doctor, I have to tell him all the things, and then I should take the prescription, I must buy medicine, I must take it systematically. नहीं तो कैसे बीमारी ठीक हो जाएगी दसो. एंड स्टार्ड प्रोडक्ट्स पैराडॉक्स क्या है? जिस देह के साथ संसार के भोग मिल रहे हैं हमको, उस देह को भी रक्षा करने का कॉमन सेंस नहीं है हमको. Is it not? That much stupidly we are abudaha. Then what to talk about protecting the inner deha of antakarana, making it qualified and fit for spiritual journey. स्थूल देह जिससे हमको भोग मिलता है, like I do good pranayama, yoga, exercise, full system digestion is so wonderful that I can enjoy good food. I can enjoy the भोग of the world. बट वो एंजॉय भोग करने के लिए जो देह को सिस्टमेटिक रखना है, इसको भी नहीं जानने वाले अधम मूर्ख है, और नहीं करने वाले लेजी फेलोस. 2 दिन करते, तीसरे दिन छोड़ दिए. दिस इज टोल्ड नॉट टू ब्लेम अस बट टू फाइंड आउट एट व्हाट लोएस्ट लेवल वी आर. स्थूल जगत के भोग देने वाले स्थूल देह को ही जो रक्षा नहीं करता है, तो फिर सूक्ष्म जगत में योग देने वाले सूक्ष्म देह को कहाँ रक्षा करेगा वो? It's about us only. This is only telling us. By saying so, what we are saying is, these are the distances we have to cover. These are the milestones we have to cross. So where do you stand? Here, go to next, go to next. ऐसे बताने के लिए सब कहा जा रहा है, not to find fault. Like the doctor after diagnosis says, you have this disease. It is not finding fault with you. It is telling you, बेटा इसके लिए ये दवाई ले लो, ये ठीक हो जाओगे. Is it not? Shastra telling us where do you stand is only a diagnosis, not blaming or insulting us. Is it not? Now, Sattvat Sangat, Sattva Sangat Rishin Devan. Is it not? Consistently, constantly, if one is using the Sattva Prakriti around him, he will get the Rishi and Deva Sharira. In Deva Sharira, not only Devaloka Bhoga, but special, facilities, special abilities, special powers are given. Like Padma Bhushan, Padma Vibhushan, when they are given, some special facilities are there for them. Bharat Ratna mano, wo flight mein free jayenge with family members, and so many things are there for the Bharat Ratna. We don't know all of them, but they have. So to MP, MLA है, तो उनको सब facilities होते हैं. So to Devalok में some facilities. But none of them are other than samsara, and they are very far away from reality. So to Rishi Deha. As a Rishi, you can have control over some prakriti, you may have some siddhis, you may even help people in healing their diseases, in helping them in सब बढ़िया तमाशा चलता रहेगा. But remember, even that also is other than away from, apart from mukti only. That also will make that person sammuda, because with that sparsha, he taking it as tattva, he is sammuda there. But it is better than the rajas tamaswala. Why? Because less papa there and more chance to even transcend it to reach to God. ठीक है, इतना काफी है. Second one, rajasa. When he identifies with the prakritis rajoguna and gets only those ideas, thoughts and all and plans and does only those type of activity, he will enter into asura and manushya yoni. Asura means those whose only job is eating, drinking. Asusuramante iti asuraha. Asu means pranamaya kosha. Pranamaya means ashana pipasa. खाओ पियो सो जाओ बस. और खाओ पियो के लिए मिलता नहीं खाना, तो किसी को मार के काट के खाओ, दे बिकम राक्षसास. देह तादात्म्य टू मच और दानव. Then enjoying only khana pina and sote rehna is asura. Further, destroying others also is called rakshasa. Little better than this Danava, Rakshasa, Asura is Manushya. Where is fear of God, fear of Papa Punya? He has got little of Sattva Guna, he has got some Dharmanishtha, He has got some love toward people around. He feels some sense of responsibility. He has got duty orientation. This is a mixture of sattva, rajas, tamas. तीनों मिलकर रहते हैं मनुष्य में. A peculiar चीज है मनुष्य. Not fully tamoguni like Rakshas or Pashus. Not fully sattoguni like the great saints and sages. ये लटकता भटकता रहता है. कभी मूड आए 10 माला जप कर दी, कब नहीं गया तो 1 माला की, कभी तो 1 महीने तक कुछ नहीं किया. I know some of you. Suddenly you appear, class so regular. I feel ki hi, they are going to realize in 1 month. Suddenly after 1 week, I say they disappear. Then I, for my Atma Shanti, I feel that I think they are realized. कहाँ गए भगवान जाने. The chanchalata in Manush. See what's happening, we are saying. We are not blaming or finding fault. We have to guard ourselves from that. Just to make us aware. So, sattva-guna pravruddhi, rishi and deva sharira, rajoguna, asura manushya, tamasa, with tamoguna, bhuta tiryaktvam. Go to the even lower yoni of rakshasas and as even also tiryaktvam, the pashyoni, brahmitaha, goes into one from the other, yati, how and who is pushing him there? Karma bihi, with his own karmas done, propelled by these 3 gunas of prakriti. ओके. एंड कभी कभी फिर मनुष्य में आकर करेगा, कभी कभी इवन इन दोज राक्षस आदि योनि डूइंग मोर एंड मोर राक्षस कर्म, एक राक्षस से दूसरे राक्षस के जन्म में जाता ही रहेगा. ऑल पॉसिबिलिटीज आर, मिलियन पॉसिबिलिटीज आर देयर इन द वर्ल्ड. ये सब कह के आपको मैं नहीं डराऊंगा, बट दैट ऑल हैज डिफरेंट कैलकुलेशन. एवरी टाइम यू नीड नॉट कम टू बिकम ए ह्यूमन बीइंग अगेन टू परफॉर्म एंड गो. ओनली द पाप पुण्य समय ही कम्स टू ह्यूमन लाइफ. Only Papa is more, then from one pashu to the other pashu, he goes on going till that's over. So too, ऋषियों के देह में जन्म. If Punya Sampada is more, even if he dies as Rishi, he will be born again as another Rishi only. ठीक है. So in this way, karma bihi brahmitaha yati. Deluded and forced by the result of the karma he does, yati, he enters into all these dehas. Through sattva, devarushi, rajas, asura manusya, and through tamoguna, bhuta, as well as tiryagyoni. This is how you and I are from so many millions of lives traveling from one to the other. Be aware of it. And if now in this life, if we don't take strong decision and mold ourselves toward the truth ourselves, the flood and flow of again these prakriti and triguna deluding us by making it appear as true, tattvena sparsha, it will pull us again. It's like a rainy season, heavy rains. You are stuck up coming from home, office to home somewhere. Heavy rain, you are under a shelter. 10 मिनट के लिए बारिश रुकती है, तुरंत जितना डिस्टेंस है उतना आपको कवर करना है, फिर से फिर बारिश होगा. In the same way, in that rain of getting carried away by the gunas into different yonis, now in this life we got a shelter sort of thing, or some some relief from the heavy flood and rain. We have to encash this to reach home. पूरा नहीं पहुंचे, कम से कम कुछ किलोमीटर. If your house is 100 kilometer distance, so between two heavy rains, the 10 minutes of time, you at least cross 5 kilometers. That itself is somewhat distance you have reached, no? यही होता है बारिश के सीजन में, इवन तूफान वगैरह होता है तो किससे संभालते हुए जाते हैं. दुनिया में ऐसे हमको करना है. दिस लाइफ लेट अस टेक इट लाइक दैट. Here we are given more opportunities and blessings by the Lord for our sadhana than many people compared to. You know, in this world, I am telling you fact, please don't scold me or feel bad. There are millions who deserve more sadhana and blessings than us, but they have no opportunity. All their goodness, etc., is Bhagavan using in pulling or pushing them in doing the worldly seva. हमसे इतने अच्छे सत्वगुणी, हमसे अच्छे सद्गुणी, and active, dynamic, committed, श्रद्धालु, लाखों करोड़ों हैं, सब सारे गुण, बट मौका नहीं है, बिकॉज लॉर्ड इज एम्प्लॉइंग देम समवेयर. हम देखो, कोई बुलाते नहीं अपन को. कहीं रेस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी नहीं. वी आर एट होम relatively. Some of you may be too important. Like yesterday, somebody after a phone call, Swamiji, what time now are you going to sleep? He said, huh? Whatever the work I had to do, I told the Modi and Amit Shah, they will do it now. I am free. I am sleeping. I told them. उनको दे दिया, वो लोग संभालेंगे. Now I am relaxed. I have nothing to worry. Some of you may be so busy like that, but in general, we are blessed. So cross some distance. We have become familiar about the presence of Shastras. We have become familiar about the theme of the Shastras. We have to become understanding persons of the theme and become convinced. In that conviction, before death, I am deciding this one point. Other than Paramatma, nothing should be my goal. My goal is to understand that goal before death. So that in the next life, right from beginning, pursue that. If that most important thing is not gained, that the Lord alone is my goal, other than Him in the Maya, the million things are there. Any one of them can be kept as goal, and we will go goal, goal, goal. That is what written as karma bihi brahmita yati. Veda karmas, he is brahmita, put from one deha to the other, he goes on moving unstoppable. That's the aim. Other than Paramatma, nothing can be goal. Nothing should be goal. All the other Tathastu Devatas, please bless this thought, because these rare moments come rarely to you also, that we seek the truth alone as the goal. Please bless us by saying Tathastu. आप सबके लिए भी, जिन्होंने सोचा और वो मोमेंट चला गया. Make use of this situation. Now comes, therefore, what is the sadhana to be done? Some more examples is giving. How do we get attracted or infatuated or, influenced and caught up? Very interesting, cute. Nrutyato gayatah pashyan yatha 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 evanu karoti tan evam buddhi gunan pashyan अनिहोपि अनुकार्यते. मजा है श्लोक पढ़कर मुझे. Like when you are in a very dynamically going some stage performance. Mainly there are three: Nritya, Gana, as well as the instruments. So in Nritya में, गाना में, दोनों में instruments है ही. Therefore you say Nritya Gayana. You went to a dance and song program. So Nrityatah Gayatah Pashyan. When you are deeply engrossed in seeing that scene of dance or singing, Yatha eva anukaroti tan, unknowingly, our feet also start tapping the ground. Our mind and mouth also start gungunana. Is it not? To the extent the program is so beautifully spellbounding, to the extent you are getting the rasa in that and you love that one, you can see that. Here, Nrutyata Gayata is a common example again. You take any number of examples. I take the example of football. In the football में it is a very craziest game. कि दौड़ते दौड़ते बाल लात मारते almost up to the goal post तक जाते हैं. All the people having that red dress, 40,000 of them, they expect the goal and they चिल्लाते हैं. अब नहीं हुआ तो सारे अफसोस. अब अगर बन गया मानो गोल, they start jumping with joy as if they made the goal. You see those coaches and helping staff एक दूसरे को पकड़ के, लकड़ के, जकड़ के बच्चों की तरह चिल्लाते हुए. You see that Olympic में goal, he will shout on. More than that is another funny example. In the football only, more nearer example to this explanation is suppose उनको प्री क्या कहते हैं उसको, पेनाल्टी किक मिल गया, not corner. Penalty kick because of the penalty, as a penalty because of mistake done by the opposition party. This fellow is given the ball to kick, only goalkeeper is there. I think it's called penalty kick or penalty stroke or penalty corner. Corner से करो तो penalty corner होगा वो. Penalty stroke is in hockey यहाँ से. अब देखो, you imagine there, don't look at the footballer who is kicking the ball. Look at the audience. 40,000 of them, जो भी सामने बंदा खड़ा है बैठा है, for them that fellow's head is a football. All of them all feel leg moving, and they, ये बंदा लात नहीं मारेगा लेकिन they will kick the fellow in front. You can see that. Same with cricket, when the ball is up in the sky to be caught by the fielder. All children you see, you in the pavilion, all in all the crowd you can see. Then same way when that fellow catches, his party people, they start jumping as if they caught. And the opposite वाले again अफसोस, अरे यार यही तो जिताने वाला था रे. Did that fellow any relation with it? But so much. How many examples? Everywhere, when the mother and father are fighting, children get frightened and all. They're not involved, but वो सीन ही ऐसे भयानक है, वो लोग डर के भाग जाते हैं. So much we see in the world. So, nrutyatah gayatah pashyan yatha iva anukaroti tan. Seeing them, the anukaranam naturally happens from within. In the same way, evam buddhi gunan pashyan. In the same way, the buddhis gunas of rajas, tamas, sattva, उनको देखते देखते anukaryate, the self also as if imitates them. That as if imitating state of being is called jiva bhava. Now in this lot of things I can talk about, but एक ही बात कहता हूँ, but when there is chances and tendencies for you to do the anukarana and become a jiva, what is the intelligent way? Don't give chance. How? By not going there. If you don't go to football ground, you don't kick the fellow in front of you while seeing the fellow who is kicking the ball. Then there is no ladai jagda with the fellow. In the same way, that's what is the sadhana going to be given slowly. The jiva is born from the self when the self is observing all the things happening. Then how to avoid the birth of the jiva to get identified? Don't get exposed there. Then how to not to get exposed? Be in your own self. That's it. एंड अल्टीमेटली इतना ही होता है, अपने आप में रहो तो यार खुश, अपने आप से बाहर आ जाओ यार खुद खुश. बोलो खुशी होना है, खुद खुशी होना है. दिस वी ऑल डू एवरी डे. Physically we do many times, but mentally we have to understand. In the mind, I am with my own self, there is no samsara. The moment, even though I am within my own room, four walls, the moment the mind has gone into the world, samsara started. In Nidra, no world and no entry outside, there was no samsara. When you wake up, the mind gone into the world, the samsara starts. Think about it. There is no other way. Any fill up the blanks are there for you to understand. You can put them as questions in the WhatsApp group. We'll answer because they're very crucial topic. Because यही बात जो समझने की है वो है. इसको समझने के बाद ही what is sadhana we understand. Then only we can do, we can claim that we are sadhaka. Then only we can claim from the Lord the result siddhi. बिना कुछ किए कैसे एक्सपेक्ट करें फल, और करने के लिए क्या करना है पहले तो जानना है ना. अब ये श्लोक जनाता है हमको. Then examples again, yathambasa prachalata taropi chala iva chakshusha brahmyamanena drishyate brahmativa bhoho. फिर यथा मनोरथ दिया, ये सब मांडुक्य उपनिषद श्लोकास. Therefore, the 55th shloka is one of the top 20 shlokas of the 18,000 shlokas of Bhagavat Mahapuran. याद रखना 22, 55, 22 में 55. 20 to 55 is top 20-25 shlokas of entire Bhagavat. अर्थे ह्यविद्यमानेपि संस्कृतिर्ननिवर्तते ध्यायितो विषयानस्य स्वप्नेन अर्थागमो यथा. These are most beautiful. Then the solution in the next shloka. तस्मात् उद्धव इत्यादि इत्यादि आएंगे. क्या बढ़िया चैप्टर है. That's how pause slowly understand. Even if you want, I'll not run because this is pet topic for me, because we are all caught up here. First, let us become clear about it. This is the main thing to be clear. Then in every Shastra, we have to see this aspect only, which will help us in strengthening this knowledge. देखो क्या सीखना है, हमें पहले शास्त्र से ही सीखना है. बाकी शास्त्रों से जो ऑलरेडी सीखा है उसको स्ट्रांग बनाते जाना। नहीं पढ़ोगे और भी शास्त्र, फिर वो ढीला ढाला हो जाएगा, हम भूल जाएंगे। दैट इज व्हाट सम्मूढ़ा, तत्वेन स्पर्श सम्मूढ़ा। ओम पूर्णमद पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम। श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। कृष्णचंद्र भगवान की जय, गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। गुड टॉपिक्स these days, यूजफुल ones, though they are little heavy and all, but फायदेमंद बहुत है मेरे ख्याल में। चलो बाबा।